Okay, hello everyone. This is part 2 in a series of parts I created specifically for Treasured Scents and their website. I am the marketing strategist on the team, and one of the fundamentals in marketing, especially for e-commerce and digital marketing, is having a website that is user-friendly, that has a flow to it that will allow the customer to conveniently and easily go navigate through the website from the home page to the products and then to checkout to where they'll buy. So in part 1, I went over some of the basics, including the flow of the website, which I highly recommend. Before creating a website, you create a website flow chart. So you have it laid out in front of you and on paper before the actual implementation of the website. For Treasured Scents, it's already up and running, so we're going to work with what we have, but it still will be helpful to create a website flowchart. Okay, so where we left off from part 1 was the cart, add to cart button. So I have already added the product to the cart, which was the clean cotton scented signature tumbler candle. So now we're in the cart. It would be helpful to have the scent here so that the customer knows for sure that they chose the right scent. And the reason being because of the product photography, the only photograph available for this product on that product page is the candle with the pink sugar label. So having that indicated somewhere here would be helpful. Now I went to edit details. This is also for quality assurance and to do some testing on the website. Okay, so they have the option to change the scent here. I think that is a good move to be able to change the scent. But again, in the first part, we went over that the drop-down menu on the actual product page, it would be better to have individual pages for each of the scents, or to be able to have the programmer create it so that you can navigate different options directly on the product page itself. Okay, so I still want the clean cotton. Yes, save that. Okay, so now I'm going to checkout. I see the subtotal for the cost of it is $35. This isn't including the $8 flat rate fee that was on the initial product page. And as I said before, it may be helpful to incorporate the cost of the shipping into the actual cost of the product itself so you can put free shipping on the website. Okay, so now we're going to checkout. All right, so when I initially tested this before creating this video, I added my email to this step 1 in the checkout process. Now, I am a returning customer, and I am now putting my email in for a second time. So although it's a good move to have emails in order to create a mailing list, it's also helpful for those who don't want to subscribe to the mailing list to be able to make an account so that you can still have emails and more so for the usability of the customer. So it's essentially for, if they don't want to subscribe to the mailing list, that's okay. They won't be on your mailing list. They won't receive the promotions, although ideally that's what we want. But it's more important for the customer and the usability of the website for them to not have to write their email in every time, especially if they're returning customers. So again, I'm writing my email in here. I'm subscribing to the mailing list. I'm putting some details in. I'm just going to make a random let's just go with New York. Okay. Okay, I need a New York zip code. Let's just go, all right, I'm gonna go with an old address of mine, okay? So there. All right. Okay, so here's an old address of mine. I no longer live there. If you take a look here, I put 160 Park Ave here, and on the second line, I put 106 Park Ave, and there was nothing that corrected me on here. Okay, and when, at first, if they're getting 1 to 2 sales per week and the customer flow isn't really coming in, it may be easier to spot these details, but we're talking larger numbers and quantities of people that are buying from you. There needs to be something that shows me that I made a mistake here, because now we don't know where the product's going. Is it going to 160 Park Ave or it's going to 106 Park Ave? Okay, so that needs to be fixed. All right. So I have read and agreed to the shipping terms. Again, we need a shipping and returns page. Okay. All right. Now let's see if I haven't read them. Okay. So that's good. Check. We've got that. Okay. So I already spoke to Tanya about this, but it's helpful to have 2 forms of payment, even 2 to 3 forms of payment on your website. It's not everyone has PayPal, although if there was an option to choose, PayPal would be the best. But it's also helpful to have a place where they can have their credit or debit card information in order to buy the product. I also want to say that this graphic, though I believe that it might come with the content management system that Treasured Sense is working off of, it's not really exactly reassuring me that this is PayPal and that this is a secure site. So it would be helpful to have something on here that shows that, because this is one of the most, besides the address itself and the email, one of the most important parts of avoiding a cart abandonment. Okay, so for testing purposes, we may have the owner of the website go through this last step, or the webmaster go through this last step. Because right now, let's take a look. I didn't put the correct address in. I am not going to be purchasing this through my PayPal because I am just doing this for quality assurance and testing. So we're going to find a way for me to do that after I talk to the webmaster, so we can ensure that everything is good to go once we get to this step. Okay. So that's essentially a very, very important part of e-commerce design and website. You want to make sure this last page is reassuring us. It's taking into account that the address is correct. It's taking into account that we have covered all our basics to protect you and the customer when it comes to shipping terms, and we want to have multiple forms of payment. And we also want to make sure that the site that we use is secure and there's something indicating that it's secure. Okay.